just want to throw out this kind of idea about the school difficulty, basically. Because I do remember when I was a teenager and child as well, I did pretty well in school. My parents did put some pressure, but what I do remember is the tension, or if you want, the stress that I had, that we need to always study and always get good marks, and there is always something happening the next week, unless you are talking about holidays. So I did check on my kids who are pretty old now, but I did look at their homework sometimes, and it seems to me that the studies they are doing now are even more difficult than what I do remember about my childhood and teen years. And I feel like this is really just an idea, so I'm not debating this, if you want, but I feel like there is a lot of pressure on this basically from day one at school up until I went to college. I did a master degree as well, but there is a lot of pressure, if you want, psychological pressure, emotional pressure about the level of studies, even if you don't really want to get the best marks. Let's say, even if you want to get a grade B grade or something like this, 70-80% only. I feel there's a lot of pressure, and I mean, I'm not sure if children and teens, they don't really, obviously they may disagree, they may get angry about it, but they don't have really the mind, the maturity to question this thing. Because basically, my question is, why? Why are we forcing these children to this much? Basically, obviously there are very quick answers, but I'm talking about the intensity, right? The hardness of these studies, basically. Obviously, there are answers because the market needs performing people. We need to advance the technology. We need doctors. We need science. Anyway, there is a market, right? So we need people prepared for these things, and we need to train the young generation to perform, not just to know, to have knowledge, but to perform as well, to be able to perform. And I agree with this, but my question would be, do we really need to push teens and children and young generation this much at school? Do we really need to, if you want, to push the technology, or is it really necessary in order to advance the technology? Or maybe can we just question, do we really need to always produce more performing phones? I have a phone in front of me, more performing cars, and because of this we need the new generations to study hard. I'm just throwing this question out there, and maybe I'm just curious, maybe someone could say, hey, maybe it's not really needed, or maybe we may just kind of separate children in two groups or more groups. One group that is more performing, we are going to be more demanding to them, and another group, we are just going to let them a little bit, put them under less pressure, or maybe even open some other opportunities for them, like couple this with sports, with hobbies or something like this. But yes, I'm just curious if you think, what do you think about this point? What's your point on it, and what's your opinion about this thing? So just try to think out of the box, right? Because this is not really a question that I've heard in medias, whether online or my medias, the televisions, radios, and maybe it's unusual to ask this question, but why not? Basically, it's just really for the sake of the new generation well-being to a point. So are we to a point, I'm hesitating saying slaves, I'm not sure if it's the right word, but are we really dependent on technological advance? I'm guessing that would be the reason. On the complexity of this society, are we really dependent, and we have to train the young generation to this point, this hard? Just a question.